Hello and welcome to the third episode of the Whatever I'm Obsessed With This Time podcast. Today we are going to be talking about Dark Magic by Nothing Nowhere. It was a mixtape that he dropped on February 9th. My first episode was talking about the anticipation and the excitement that was brought from the announcement of that project, and now I'm going to be talking about the project in its entirety. But before that, I want to backtrack on something I forgot to mention in the last episode, which, ironically enough, it was the second reason that inspired me to make that, choose the idea for that second episode, was that I went back to Just Cause 3 after, like, five years. It's been 5 years since I played Just Cause 3, never beat it, and to go back to it after, that long break of not playing the game, playing through it again and gonna beat it eventually. It's a fun experience. It's fun to take breaks from games, like whether it be a 5-year break, whether it be a couple-year break, to go back to those games and play them, especially like Just Cause 3 is such a great game. It's definitely one of the best open world games you could get on current gen consoles and last gen. It's definitely one of my favorites, and I always forget to mention it in my favorite list of games because Just Cause 2 is normally the one that I choose over that. But Just Cause 3 is a fantastic game, along with Watch Dogs 2, Ghost Recon Wildlands, Far Cry 5, all great open world games. But that being said, let's talk about Dark Magic. Now, for me, I wasn't gonna wait and listen to this on my own because Joe actually had a listening party stream where we would just, hang out, listen to the whole album in its entirety, and it was one of the best experiences of my life. I've never been to a concert, but it was almost like better than a concert. And it was definitely one of my, it might even be my favorite moment of this year, to be honest. It was a great night. A whole bunch of people got gifted subs on the Twitch stream, and I feel my actual favorite tracks changed from listening to the full album and even just going from the live stream to listening to it on my own. And I'm going to talk about all that. But yeah, since I talked about mostly the anticipation around it, the listening stream was awesome. And I'm pretty sure, so to be completely honest, I listened to the whole album once after the Twitch live stream, and then only yesterday did I listen to it fully, because I'm pretty sure I listened to it on Spotify on my on the TV, and then I listened to it on my phone. And I'm also going to talk about the different experiences between those two. But I'm just going to I'll go through the album. So before I even talk about favorite tracks, I'm going to go through the list in the order and, my descriptions for each. So Shadowcraft is a really great opener. Still one of my favorite openers from any album, period, would be Anxiety off of Void Eternal. But this is actually second to Anxiety in terms of how great it is starting off and how it leads into the rest of the album. But the thing is that I only remember this song because it's the opener, which is, it's a great thing in itself to know that, what song am I going to listen to? I want to listen to the opener. But outside of that, I don't really gain anything else. I mean, it's a great song, great opener, but you're going to see the differences between my opinions on other tracks. So Dark Magic, before I even really dove into the lyrics, I just liked this song. This is the second song off the album. It It's pretty great. But then I listen to lyrics, and out of all the lyrics, this is easily the track that I relate to the most. The lyrics are so good on this one. I'll actually bring up, as I'm talking about the rest of the list, I will bring up the lyrics to this song specifically, because really, of course, Little Mix had to have a song with the same damn title. Okay, so while Genius is verifying me, yes. Okay, all right. So lyrics are the specific lyrics that I want to talk about are I'm over the contract. I'm over the contracts. Deleting your contact. Yeah, I couldn't see straight. Increasing my heart rate. It's too much. Starting to feel like it is in real life. Losing touch. And then I feel the room spin. Overthinking about life and what I'm doing. That's one of my favorite parts of the album. I feel the room spin. Overthinking about life and what I'm doing. It's 3 a.m. and I'm here again. It reminds me of. He has a song, I forget the name of it, but oh wait, yeah, no, it's oh my god, it's my second favorite song by him, or yeah, it's my second favorite song. It's the one with Dashboard Confessional. He says, shoot, what is the lyric? Like shoot. Hopes Up. It's Hopes Up. And he talks about like being on his phone, staring at your page. Yeah, okay. Now I remember what now, and I feel like a lot of the songs on here have that same kind of familiarity. But yeah, he has a lyric very similar to that one on Hopes Up that I always think about. It's basically about like staring at someone's page when you're not like you're probably no longer in the relationship or you're no longer talking to them, and you just feel lonely just looking at this person's life and realizing that you're not in it. I really like that, and I'm glad that he has like more lyrics to do with that. But 100%, like that's easily the most relatable set of lyrics out of the entire album for me. That just really hit hard. Now I want to talk about Bad Luck. Bad Luck is the next song, and this is currently my favorite song. I don't know what it is. Like the overall vibes and the chorus is really good on this song. It kind of reminds me of, actually, instrumentally, it reminds me of Hopes Up. And I think that's why I like it so much, because Hopes Up is my second favorite Nothing Nowhere song. I honestly, I gotta be completely honest. This album is kind of beating out Ruiner for me. So the greatest songs on this album might actually be topping Ruiner, like the actual song Ruiner. Because that was, I mean, it's probably gonna be still a top 3 for me, but. And even Hopes Up has competition with Bad Luck. Bad Luck actually might become my favorite song by him. It's so simple too, but I feel like it's just the familiarity and the vibes and the chorus is just so good. Now the next song though is Okay Okay, which in my opinion, like I'm not completely sold on it, but it's growing on me. Now the only issue that I have with this album isn't even with the album itself. I think it's with my phone. And I have like whatever was the newest Motorola whenever I got it in 2021 was when I got a new phone. And it's a Motorola. I feel like I've had no other issues listening to other songs, but then again, I don't really listen to music through like my phone speaker, so it might just be my phone. But certain songs on this album, specifically Okay Okay, there's like this very distorted element to it that I don't hear like if I listen to it on like the TV. So listening to it on the TV, though, it's growing on me. Listening to it on my phone, I'm not even gonna listen to it on my phone. But it's an interesting song for me. When I heard it on the live stream, I wasn't really sold, but then just hearing it by itself, it's starting to grow on me. It's definitely catchy, and I used to think that it was catchy in an annoying way, but it's becoming a little bit more than that. It's definitely growing on me, but I wouldn't consider it to be a great track just yet. Now, after that is easily one of his best from his discographies, which is Tunchi. It's my jeez, I this could be bad luck. This is such a great song. Like, it's a straight banger from start to finish. Everything about it is perfect. The lyrics and the chorus is probably my favorite chorus from him ever. Like, it's such a great chorus, and I mean, it kind of sucks for me because, like, as much as I want to relate to the chorus, I mean, I can relate to it, not exactly word for word, because I would not want to. Um, actually, I mean, I try to think about it, like, because he talks about waking up in the 8th grade, and for me, that was the worst year of my entire life. So, like, I mean, there's, I guess, if I look at it as an interpretation that I'm living in a nightmare if I wake up in the 8th grade, then I relate to it. But if I refer to returning to 8th grade as, as a childhood that I wouldn't want to go back to the 8th grade. Hell no. So, but yeah, that's kind of like, easily, it's one of his best songs ever, straight up. Now, then we kind of get into the other, like, inspirations and influences, which is the Suicide Boys for Witch Hunter. I love this, but I feel like Triple X is just better. Now, Witch Hunter, while they're basically the same thing, like same concept, they both get me hyped up, and that's kind of like, that's all I really get. It's like it's like a Suicide Boys song that gets you hyped. Like, you want to go to the gym and just work out to this song, put it on replay because it's short. And then we got Reaper Rap, which I don't remember if I know I mentioned in the first episode that I was excited for it, and I do like the verse. And the chorus is, it's fine. It's great to yell. It's definitely, I feel like this song would go hard at an actual concert. But it's not it's not close to my favorite, like Reaper Gang, which is the next track. It is, I wrote third favorite, but so it's third favorite, but has competition with Drain Touch, and we're going to get to Drain Touch. But the chorus is, like, the chorus represents the entire fan base of Nothing Nowhere, and I love it. And also, I loved when artists talk about, like, feeling betrayed by people, like how if you, become famous or become well known, then you talk about returning to your own hometown, and people say, oh yeah, like, I know this guy, but they don't. Like, they're only doing it for attention. And I love like when people mention that in music, and that it's just a great song. It definitely represents the entire community. But yeah, other than that, like, it's, just the chorus alone is just enough. And I also love the instrumentals for the or the backing track, like, for the chorus, is really, really good. And I would love to see him, like, do more interesting stuff like that for his future projects. I really love it. It's kind of like, it kind of reminds me of, like, Reaper, Nothing Nowhere. I mean, I can't think of any other category. I mean, like, you could also, like, think of maybe Death from Trauma Factory, but no, I'm thinking more like Reaper era of Nothing Nowhere. This song makes sense. And honestly, now I think about it, both Reaper songs kind of feel like they would just belong on Reaper. Yeah, so as I wrote, yeah, and the lyrics are just so real, and I love them. Now I want to talk about Doomsday. Now, I don't. When I was going down the rabbit hole of Nothing Nowhere, I heard like the unreleased compilation, and Doomsday was probably my favorite out of everything I heard. It's definitely one of my favorite songs. I even downloaded it on my phone. So to hear that he went back to it, I'm actually not surprised because it is one of his best songs. Period. I love the lyrics. It's one of those songs that talks about like like trying to impress everybody because you're rich and famous, but you're really struggling, and you put on a happy face, but people could see through your facade. I love when artists talk about like that in music, and it's a great way of doing it without sounding preachy. And the fact that he wrote this like so early in his career is like really shows that this guy is a really talented artist. Beyond beyond a lot of rappers that I've heard, I would say that this is definitely like just a great rap song in general, and it has a great message to it. No Emotion, another one that I was entirely sold on the live stream, but hearing it by itself, I love it. I love it. Great. It's a great start to finish. Definitely some of his best bars, some of the best rap bars I've ever heard on this song, period. However, I mean, I don't, I mean, it's a little bit cheesy with the 5 4 3 2 1. Life is so fun. But, like the no emotion part, and I was all like, that's kind of the part that really didn't, or that, and then going into the I feel no emotion, that's on the live stream kind of just sounded a little bit try hard and cringy a little bit. However, hearing it by itself, I think it's just great. It's a great song. Um, you got to keep in mind that I was listening to this listening party at friggin' 12 to like 2. So I don't really, I mean, my thoughts were just, they weren't fully fleshed out at that point. Now, what the F am I doing with my life? This song to me reminds me of like classic Nothing Nowhere before Reaper. Like when I think of this song, I think of I always forget the albums that came before, but the one with I think it's the one with I've Been Doing Well. That era. Nothing Nowhere is what this song sounds like. It's great. It's just fantastic. I love the fact that he was like able to incorporate different eras on this mixtape, and I think that's what stands out the most about it compared to like any other release that he's done. Because normally when he makes the albums, his albums are strictly focused on a specific idea, doesn't really apply to the newer or the older stuff. So to have a mixtape of kind of like different eras of his content was a great choice. Now, 1500 Freestyle is, to me, it's a great track, but there's another track that he's made before that I think about, and I'm almost 100% sure it's off of Runer. Can't tell you the name, but I remember, like, I know of the song, and that's how I feel about this song. It just reminds me of that song. It's a great song, but I can't for the life of me tell you about it. It's a vibe. It's like if I heard this while I was like I would put this on maybe on like a sleeping playlist. And it's not bad by any means. It's just that when he does this style of music, like this specific style that he did before on Reaper, as much as the singing is great, I just can't for the life of me take something distinctive from it and tell you about it. But just like that other song, whenever I hear it, like whenever it just like, if I was like listening to a playlist and it just pops up in the mix, I'll love it. I'll love it. I'll like it's a vibe, and I feel like that's what this song's just gonna be. It's just gonna be um, a vibe that since he has such a variety filled catalog of music, this type of stuff kind of gets lost in the mix compared to like his hard stuff, the most emotionally impactful stuff. That while despite it being really good, it doesn't do enough to keep me invested in talking about it, and it will just like pop in my head from time to time, but it's not a standout track. That's all I'm gonna say. Now, the Haunted Home, on the other hand, is kind of just it's a different story. This song to me is the complete opposite. Because you want to know what I have to say about this song is if you tell me like describe Haunted Home, I will tell you that it is nothing more than just a Void Eternal outtake. That's what it sounds like to me. It kind of just sounds like it reminds me of Memory Fracture, which is one of my favorite pieces of music that he's done. Just not as fleshed out and kind of just put together, like I wouldn't say half-assed, but like put together in just something to be different on this mixtape. I just wrote it's good. I don't think it will rise up in becoming anything else. Now, Beige, on the other hand, I prefer it over Haunted Home. Love the chorus. It is very impactful instrumentals, and this feels more fleshed out compared to Haunted Home. Now, I don't, and also you got to keep in mind when I compare this to like some of the most boring, forgettable music that I've listened to, this tops everything. Like this is way better than any of that boring stuff. Like this is my favorite artist. So if I say something that's like, it's whatever, it's better than half the stuff or it's better than everything that I've heard that I just didn't like or couldn't get into or fell asleep listening to. Way better than that stuff. So by no means is it bad. Now, but yeah, Beige is just far better. And then we get to Triple X, which is definitely the best Suicide Boys inspiration influenced filled track with a breakdown, because you gotta have a breakdown, and it's easily one of his hardest songs. Like not even counting like anything off of Void Eternal, like probably one of my actually, yeah, okay, I'm gonna have trouble like naming everything, but this is easily like this is on par with like some of the hardest stuff off of Void Eternal, and done by him. Not talking about the features off of Void Eternal. Now we get to Drain Touch. When I heard this song and I heard about everybody like the lore behind this song, I know what to expect. And when I heard it on the live stream, I still didn't know like how to kind of process like, I mean, it's a song, but then hearing it by itself, and I specifically when I listen to this song, I have to watch the music video to get the whole vibe. And then when I even don't have the music video to watch and I listen to the song, I still get the vibe. I wrote that I like the chorus, and the chorus is great, but I didn't mean the actual chorus. I mean like the part where he goes, you only love me when it's easy. You only call when it's convenient. Yeah, that one. I don't know what that would be considered. I don't know if it's a pre-chorus, but that part of the song is really, really good and reminds me of, I guess maybe Trauma Factory. A little bit of something off of Trauma Factory. Yeah, probably definitely Trauma Factory. It reminds me a lot of something off of Trauma Factory, but it kind of just excels in everything off of almost everything off of Trauma Factory. It's such a great song, love it, and it's at the end of it might become second to even my favorite song by him. And then we get to Lovely Little Hell, which is the one that I forgot the name of forgot the name of when I was talking about this in the first episode. So when I heard this song, because it was so weird, but he if I remember correctly, I believe it was the live stream that he was teasing that he was playing a little bit of snippets. It was the live stream that he was playing the snippets. But I don't think the archive had everything like all the samples. So I remember hearing this, and he was very enthusiastic about showing the chorus. And I like it because it went from your typical drums that you would hear off of I don't know, maybe Void Eternal. And then it goes into this really fun chorus, and I love the chorus so much. But this song is just overall catchy, and it's out of everything that I've had stuck in my head, this is easily the number one song. Oh wait, no. Did I skip Pity Party? I did skip Pity Party. How did I skip Pity Party? Oh, actually, you know what? I'll just keep it last, because there's a good reason why I'm going to keep that last. But yeah, really catchy. It's a really catchy song, and out of everything that he's done, this is the number one song I wouldn't mind having in my head. I love the chorus so much. I don't even know what to describe the chorus, because it's kind of like poppy rock. I really don't know. It's kind of like, I want to say the chorus kind of reminds me, not the singing, but the instrumentation kind of reminds me of something off of Artist versus Poet. And considering that I haven't really close to that I really fell in love with this song. And originally was my favorite song, but as I wrote, there's just so many other songs that top it, despite it being so catchy. Now, apparently, my video limit is going to be closing soon. So I'm going to talk about Pity Party. Banger song, kind of the second song that represents the fan base. And a quick little story, whenever I'm watching my dad's house, back in high school, when I was really depressed, I would put on a Little Peep song and just be just blasting it. While I don't know, I was watching YouTube. That's what this song is in a nutshell. Being at my dad's house alone, depressed, blasting this song. But unlike Little Peep, this guy actually makes me feel someone else is there with me, telling me that it's gonna be okay. And that just overall represents the fan base in a very healthy manner. And I'm glad that he did a song like this. He called it I think he says something about a pity party banger, or a pity party is it's the nothing nowhere club banger, and it honestly is. Wow, we're almost approaching 30 minutes, but again, I love this artist so much that I'm not surprised that I have so much to talk about regarding him. But yeah, all in all, I think I covered everything that I wanted to cover. I guess I will mention the second segment that I want to have in the next episode, which I don't know what it's going to be yet. It might be sad songs that hit you at the perfect moment. Not entirely sure. Peace.